this is probably going to offend a lot of people, but I'm going to go there anyways. The immigration crisis that our country is currently experiencing is not Donald Trump's fault. It's our fault. So let me explain what I mean by that. First, I just want to say I am not an advocate by any stretch of the imagination of separating children from their parents. I have a degree in marriage and family therapy, and in my day job I work with children who have experienced loss and trauma and who have been separated from their parents for a variety of reasons. So I know firsthand how detrimental it can be to a child's emotional and mental welfare to be separated from their family. My own brother-in-law is originally Moldovan and only became an American citizen about a year or so ago, and so I've seen him walk through all of the red tape of the immigration and naturalization process, and I know it is hard. And my own boyfriend is actually from the Middle East, still lives there, and we aren't even able to get him a tourist visa so that he can come and visit me here in the US. So I know it's rough. But I also think that we are misunderstanding the role of the government. At its core, the government and the president are supposed to create and create and enforce laws so that they can protect the citizens within its borders. That's it. Government is not meant to be this quasi-savior that will solve all societal ills. We get angry and we sign petitions and we protest. I don't think it's the government's fault. The government is a representative of the people. It's not its own independent entity. We elected these officials. Ultimately, I think we are the ones who are not being good citizens in this situation. And I'm preaching to myself with this, but let me explain what I mean by that. Changing immigration law and policy is exceptionally difficult. And does that need to happen? Yes, probably, but that is not going to be easily done, and I can tell you more about my thoughts on that in a future video if you would like me to. But something that we can do right now without changing any laws or policies is this. We can be better citizens when it comes to refugees and immigrants. For example, how many of us in the United States go and visit places like Mexico or Colombia or Brazil or the Czech Republic or Egypt? Thousands of Americans go to these places every year just for vacation. And how many people ever leave the comforts of their 5-star resort or the tourist locations? How many people actually get to know the culture in which they are visiting, get to know the average person on the ground and see what life is like? Secondly, once immigrants and refugees do come to the United States, who reaches out to them? Who helps them? There's a few organizations, a few nonprofits that are helping immigrants and refugees and helping them find housing and jobs and learn English, and I absolutely commend those organizations. But that is not enough. And why are we leaving it to just a handful of organizations that are probably underfunded to do what we as citizens should be doing? Why are we not reaching out to our own new neighbors? We were all immigrants to this country, and we should all have compassion. So what can we do to help? What can we practically do to help immigrants and refugees? The first thing you can do is vacation with purpose. Don't close your eyes to the place that you are actually visiting. And I'm not saying that everybody does, but I think the vast majority of people are not thinking about anything other than their own comfort when they go on vacation. Talk to the maid who changes your sheets every day. Ask her about herself, her family, her life. Talk to the server who brings you your food and try and use their language. Learn some words before you go so that you're showing respect for their culture. Maybe volunteer for even just a few days of your vacation at an organization that's on the ground trying to make a difference in the lives of its own citizens. And next, when refugees and immigrants are in your community, reach out to them. Try and find out who they are and befriend them. Come alongside them and offer to let their kids carpool with your kids to school. Help them navigate how to enroll their child in school, how to open a bank account, how to learn English. Live life with the refugees and immigrants in your community, not as a charity project, but as valued members of your community. This last practical idea is something that is more difficult and probably everyone can't do, but there are probably people who can consider doing this and should. My own hometown, when I was a child, the local church there banded together, pooled their resources, and sponsored an entire Laotian family from the country of Laos when there was a lot of violence and warfare that was happening there, and they brought that entire family over and helped them find a place to live, helped them find jobs, and just loved on them and wrapped around their whole family. They say that there's only 5 degrees of separation between every person in the world, which means that we probably know or have a connection to someone in another country who would like to immigrate to the United States. And it is well within our power to be able to help them fill out paperwork. And maybe we should consider helping to be their financial sponsor as they immigrate to the United States. And then when they get here, wrapping around them as a community to help them settle in and adjust to American life. Why can't more local churches and even local businesses or individuals who have the means, why don't more people do that? Perhaps then we wouldn't be facing the crises of illegal immigration that we are seeing so much today. I know it was a real hot button topic today, but please give me your feedback, your comments, like, subscribe. I would love to just be in conversation with people about this topic.